Hi everyone, hope you're all doing really well. Welcome to Unacademy. So we are still on our basic grammar overview collection, and today we'll be talking about phrases and clauses. It's the third lesson in the series. Before we begin, something about me. My name is Himanshu and I'm a BE from BITS Pilani. I work at Dell as a senior business and marketing analyst. You can follow me on Unacademy, and this is my user profile. So let's begin. Phrases and clauses. Now, this is something which, though we have included in our grammar overview, and this might be something about which not many of you would be aware, but it's wise to cover phrases and clauses because they are of extreme significance when it comes to grammar, right? So, what we're going to study here today is we're going to cover what phrases mean, what are the different kinds of phrases, what clauses are, and then the different types of clauses. Now, why we are covering phrases and clauses is because, see, earlier we studied sentence. Now, phrases and clauses are, subsets of a sentence. There are few words within a sentence which would be a phrase, which would be a clause. And then, how do these play along with, let's say, the subject or the verb or, the preposition? Those sort of links we need to be absolutely clear about because a lot of times there will be a number of errors in the question. Basically, grammatical questions are all about finding the errors and oblique or rectifying them. So, right, clauses and phrases are one of the most important areas where the examiner hides a lot of errors for you to spot. So, it's very important to for you to know what exactly are phrases and what exactly are clauses. So, let's begin. Phrases. Now, phrase is nothing but a collection of words that may have nouns, verb, but it will certainly not have a subject doing a verb. Right? It will have a noun or it will have a verb, but it cannot have both. Like, right? So for example, you see leaving behind the dog. Right? So here you okay, let's consider one more example. Smashing into a fence. Between ignorance and intelligence, because of her glittering smile. See the examples? These examples represent nothing but a collection of words which have a noun. See here, in the first example, it's leaving behind the dog. So you have a dog, which is a noun. You also have a verb, which is leaving behind, right? But in no case is the noun functioning as a subject doing a predicate verb. The dog is not doing anything. Someone is leaving behind a dog. Someone is leaving behind the dog, right? But that someone is not the dog. So basically, what we are trying to tell you here is that a phrase might have a noun and a verb, but the verb does not signify what the noun is doing. Here, it can be I am leaving the dog behind, right? Or I am leaving behind the dog. So, this leaving, the verb, is linked to me, but not to the dog, right? So that is something to be taken care of. Again, I'll repeat, it will have a noun, it may have a verb, it may have both, but the noun and the verb are disjoint entities. The verb does not denote what the noun in the phrase is up to. There are different types of phrases. The first is a noun phrase. It consists of a noun and its modifiers, right? For example, the bewildered tourist was lost. The senile old man was confused. The lost puppy was a wet and stinky dog. It was a story as old as time, right? So what we are telling you here is look at this phrase, the bewildered tourist, right? It's about a tourist, right? So it's a noun phrase. Tourist is a noun, so it's a noun phrase. Next, we have verb phrases. It will have a verb and its modifiers. For example, he was waiting for the rain to stop. Was waiting for the rain to stop. He is my noun, so it's not a noun phrase which is excluded of this. Was waiting. Waiting is a verb, right? It's an action. So, Was waiting for the rain to stop is my verb phrase. Similarly, she was upset when it did not boil. Was upset when it did not boil is my phrase here, right? Was upset is the verb. You have been sleeping for a long time, right? Have been sleeping is the verb. Similarly, he was eager to eat dinner, right? Again, it's about verbs, it's not about the noun, because nouns you can clearly see are not a part of these phrases here. For example, here the noun is he, but it's not a part of the underlined phrase. So, it's not a noun phrase, it's a verb phrase. Then you have prepositional phrases. These prepositional phrases begin with a preposition and can act as a noun, adjective, or an adverb. The simple thing is you need to identify it's starting off with a preposition: on the table, by the brook, over the rainbow, in the dark of night. So on, by, over, lost, these all are my prepositions, right? So this is my prepositional phrase. Next we have clauses. Now clauses are nothing but a collection of words that have a subject and that is actively doing a verb. In phrases, the subject was not doing the verb thing, right? But here, the subject is actively doing a verb. For example, since she laughs at different men, I despise individuals of low character, right? So she is the noun, laughs is a verb. She's actively laughing. I mean, you can clearly see she is doing something. She is laughing. I despise, I am the noun, and despise here is the verb. When the saints go marching in, saints is my noun, go is the verb. So saints go marching in. Because she smiled at him, she is the noun, smile is the verb, right? So basically, we find either a noun or a pronoun that is a subject and is attached to a predicate verb. So basically, unlike phrases, clauses would also have a noun and a verb, but they would be linked. Subject is actively doing a verb. That is the only difference. Now, clauses are of two kinds: independent clauses, dependent clauses. Independent clauses are nothing but, it's a complete sentence in itself, barring the punctuations. It can hold its own independent virtue. For example, I despise individual of low character. He is uglier than a rabid raccoon. I mean, we could easily. I have, in fact, already turned these clauses into individual sentences, complete sentences, by adding appropriate punctuation marks. That is the whole thing. I mean, these are independent because these type of clauses can stand independently by themselves without any extra words attached and can be complete sentences. So basically, independent clauses are nothing but a group of words which, when tempered by the right punctuation marks and capital letters and stuff like that, would stand on its own as a complete sentence. Whereas dependent clauses are nothing but a group of words in which it's a clause. So a subject would be doing a verb, right? But independently they would not mean anything. For example, look, since she laughs at different men, what does this mean? Since she laughs at different men, something something something. So that something something something, which when added to this clause would make complete sense, right? That's why I'm saying since they don't hold independently, they are my dependent clauses. These clauses simply do not form complete thoughts or sentences by themselves, and the thought remains incomplete. That is why they are my dependent clauses. Moving on, in the subsequent lectures, you will find a lot of significance and a lot of importance when it comes to clauses, the dependent and the independent clauses. We'll be talking a lot about these clauses. So, yeah, I mean, it's of vital significance that you are absolutely clear about clauses, independent clauses, dependent clauses. You're aware of the fact that a clause would have a subject doing actively and verb. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it for this lesson. See you soon. Thank you.